All right, what's up, guys? I'm Andres Wolf, founder of Reality Reconnect, the number one DPDR recovery program in the world. And now we're here with Brooke, one of my newly recovered clients. Brooke just made a full recovery in 35 days. And how long were you struggling for, Brooke?
About 2 months, 3 months.
2, 3 months.
Yeah.
Severely, though, severely.
Yeah.
And yeah, today we're going to break down everything, how it happened, how we recovered. Super excited to talk about her story. Yeah, Brooke, start us off. Where are you from? How old are you? How did this all start?
From Columbus, Ohio. I'm 28. It started for me in May after going to a music festival and
Mm,
drinking way too much.
mm,
Um, yeah, I had really bad hangover the days after my festival, and then just had like the worst panic attack ever that day, which kind of started it all off.
totally. And I feel like we can all relate to that. That one panic attack that just changes your life, turns your world upside down. And let's talk about before this panic attack, though, because I know you'd been struggling with anxiety for quite a bit. So definitely talk about that. When did you start experiencing anxiety, and how did that affect you the last couple years, or however long you struggled for?
I've kind of had it off and on since I was like probably like 15. Um, I had it really bad about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I was like, it was like pretty bad, like health anxiety, and you know, would go to the hospital a lot, and like got diagnosed with OCD at
Mm,
that time. Um, yeah.
the diagnosis, yeah, definitely something I want to touch on this interview. You got diagnosed when? What year was this?
Probably 2018.
2018, you got diagnosed with OCD, anxiety, and what did you think of the diagnosis at the time?
At the time, I kind of was just like, yeah, I get that. I feel like I have that, and it made sense.
Totally, totally. Um, do you feel like that label, did that affect you, like being labeled with OCD, being labeled with anxiety? How did that affect your life?
For sure. Yeah, I tried therapy back then for OCD and anxiety. And when I would go, I would have therapy once a week. And it would, anytime I would leave therapy, I would just be thinking about it all day. My like OCD symptoms were through the roof the whole day. And then like the next few days, like after that, I wouldn't really be thinking about it. I wouldn't have OCD or anxiety symptoms.
I feel you. I mean, I really want to dive in deep in like 5 to 10 minutes about that, but I wanted to talk about what you were actually experiencing when you went through DPDR, right? So, like, what were the exact symptoms that you were experiencing? What was the most debilitating symptoms?
Um, my main ones were like, I remember just looking in the mirror and being like, not recognizing myself.
Mm,
Um, I would be scared, like even just like talking to somebody else, like looking at them and being like, "You're a human. You're like you have a brain. I have a brain."
yeah,
Um, all of that. I remember like looking at my hands. My hands would freak me out. Um,
100%,
I had like constant existential thoughts and like the ruminating just like all of the time.
100%.
And then I was yeah like hyper aware of everything and like being alive.
I hated that one. That was so bad. Hated that one. And when you had this panic attack that started everything, was this your first panic attack, or was it like your worst panic attack?
Yeah, I would say it was my worst. It was
Your
like 4 hours
worst.
long. Yeah.
Talk to me about that. I feel like a lot of people can relate, especially me. Like, what did that feel like? Obviously, it's indescribable, but if you could describe it, how did it feel like to have that panic attack?
Like physical symptoms.
Physical symptoms, everything. Like, did you feel like you were gonna die? Like, what was going
Yeah,
through your head?
for sure. I thought I was seconds away from dying. I, my whole body was like shaking so bad, and it went on
Yeah,
for like 4 hours. My heart was pounding. I was sweating. Um, yeah, it like nothing could calm me down. I tried like distracting myself, and I just couldn't. It just like it took over everything.
took over. And when you woke up from that, or like the following day, did you experience disconnect, or did you not even notice it yet?
Not yet. Right after that, it kind of took, I would say, like a month. I was having like really bad anxiety like every day after that, and
Right.
then and panic attacks like here and there for like that full month. And I tried just like forgetting about it and going on and like still doing stuff, but I would like try to go out or do something and still and have anxiety or have a panic attack. So like, and it would just make it worse.
100%. I understand that completely. And back to your symptoms real quick. You brought up the hyper awareness, the existential thoughts. Um, what else would you say? The anxiety, the intrusive thoughts, were you getting those as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Totally. And I mean, what would you say, like top three most debilitating symptoms that you were experiencing?
Um, I would say definitely the existential thoughts and like the intrusive thoughts.
Mm,
Um, the being hyper aware of everything,
mm.
hated that. Um, and then yeah, like the not feeling in my body because like even trying to like talk to somebody or do anything, I just felt like that wasn't me. Like,
Felt like that wasn't you. You felt like you were just like in a body, right?
yeah,
Such a bad feeling. Such a bad feeling. I want to read out what you like reached out to me with. This wasn't even that long ago. This was like literally 35 days ago. A little bit more, obviously, because it took some time to set up a call and everything. Um, you just said you experienced a horrible panic attack, hangover, the worst panic attack, full body shaking, sweating, puking, terrified. We all know what that's like. And then you just brought up how you used to struggle with this, you overcame it, but now it just came back. Existential OCD, intrusive thoughts, hyper aware. I've gotten to the point I don't want to live anymore. Definitely, right? Like the suicidal aspect, the depression, that was something that you struggle with, Brooke, the depression aspect of things, right?
yeah.
Talk about that. How did that feel like? Because I feel like a lot of people can relate.
Um, so I feel like it went from like the emotional numbness side of it to being depressed, and then being depressed also scared me. Like any emotion that I felt was like scary to me.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then I was just like I wanted to feel normal so bad. I was like, it would make me depressed every day. I would wake up and be like, okay, I'm still feeling it, so I'm depressed. Like I hated like all of that.
100% agree. I understand that. And how bad would you say it got for you? There's a lot of people that kind of compare, like, oh, Brooke doesn't have it as bad as me, and Dress doesn't have it as bad as me. Do you really feel like it was really, really bad for you?
Yeah, for sure. I there was
Did you ever feel like you were that person that kind of was like doubting if other people had it as bad as you?
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me too. I was the king of that. I was the king of
I
that.
was
I
too.
feel like everyone is. It's hilarious.
Literally. I remember multiple days I would be sitting there just like I'm like about to get dressed and put my pants on and go to the mental hospital like right now because
100%.
like I can't.
I mean, I just did a client interview today, and I was just talking about that, how like we were so close to like straight up going to the mental hospital.
Yeah.
So close. I totally get that. And did you ever feel like you like, I don't know, maybe you were too far gone or you were like the exception that couldn't recover?
Yeah, for sure.
You did?
I remember like talking about when I started this program and I was like talking to my sister about it and I'm like she's like what if it doesn't work? Like what are you going to do? I'm like damn, you're right. It might not work. What like I don't know. And once I started it obviously that changed, but yeah, I definitely thought I would be the one that wouldn't recover.
And here we are a couple weeks later, literally a couple weeks later. Now I really want to dive in on what we were talking about before. So just some context. Brooke shared with me something that she posted on her Instagram story literally 2 months ago, not a day over 2 months ago. And you were just bringing up how you're bringing up awareness about, you're just like, what exactly did you say in that post, that story?
I was bringing awareness to like mental health diagnosis and having OCD and anxiety, panic, and even BPD. I was diagnosed with just like bringing awareness because like I was saying like you don't know like what somebody else is going through and all of that.
Exactly. And It's crazy. Like, how do you feel now knowing that, like, just 2 months ago, that was you, like, struggling so bad, bringing up awareness to it. You were stuck in that state, and now you're completely out of it just 2 months later.
Feels surreal.
For real.
Yeah, like telling me that 2 months ago, like that I would be here and like feeling completely normal again, like I would not have believed that at
It's
all.
amazing. It's amazing. And I was talking with you about this earlier, but like there's so many people that reach out to me with diagnoses, with OCD, with just they just feel I can tell that they're just trapped. Like they're labeled with this condition and they're trapped, especially something with OCD who's it's just so misunderstood. A lot of people think that OCD like you can't overcome it. Like if you search it up on Google, I could do that right now. I actually will literally do that right now. Is OCD curable? OCD is not curable, but it is highly manageable. You see what I mean? You see, like that right there just shows you that, like, if you get diagnosed with OCD and you assume that it's not curable, it's like you're stuck, right? And then the next thing I see, the first article I see, why there's no cure for OCD, right? And that's ridiculous to me, right? Because I've already had so many clients diagnosed with OCD, overcome it in a couple weeks, just like you. And I find it disgusting, honestly. I find it disgusting that the medical system does this to us and just really just ruins lives, to be honest. It sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks. Now I want you to talk about, Brooke, about your experiences with therapy. You probably went to so many emergency room, doctors, all that. Let's start with therapy. You did therapy, right? Or no?
Yeah.
You did.
I did therapy before and then I even tried it in the last few months too. And yeah, I tried the BetterHelp thing when I was
Mm.
having DPDR and everything and I I did one session and they were like I told them what I was having, what I was experiencing, all of that and the girl was like, "Oh, you're having like derealization, that's not normal." And I was like,
Wait, what did she say?
she said that's not normal that you're having like derealization because I
It's
said I was
not normal?
yeah,
What?
she
You see
said
what I
that.
mean? It's just like things like that. It just makes no sense to me. It's so unprofessional to say. What does that
Yeah.
even mean? So normal. I don't know. Okay, so that's the better help. Do you do anything like in person or no?
I went to my doctor's and I she wanted me to see a psychiatrist, but I this past time I just went to her and yeah, she had diagnosed me with BPD.
Oh my goodness.
Um, and just put she tried to put me on a medicine which was like Buspar
Okay.
and yeah, I started taking that. I took it for a month before this program and
Oh, I remember that. That's
terrible.
insane to me, especially like a diagnosis of BPD. You have to be so clueless
Yeah.
about everything to come to that conclusion. Like,
Yeah.
again, it's like the one place in the world where you trust them. They're doctors, they've been to school for God knows how many years, they've seen God knows how many patients, and they still are just completely clueless. It's horrible,
Yeah.
terrible. And then you said you went on that medication, right? For a
I
month.
did. Yeah. And every day that I took that, I was also taking an Ativan, which is like a benzo.
Hmm.
And I, because it wasn't helping me at all. And I was
I remember you told me that. I remember
yeah,
you told me that.
just having anxiety still every day so bad. Um, and that's when the day I stopped taking it is when I went to the hospital because I thought I was going to die again. And
When
I
was
was like,
this? Was
okay.
this right before you joined?
Yeah. So that was the end of August. And then is when I stopped taking it, August 16th. But I was still taking the Ativan because I was still having all of my symptoms. And
I
then,
know, I know.
yeah, found you on.
Yeah, a lot of people can relate to that, getting prescribed a benzo, whether it's a Klonopin or something else, or even Xanax,
Yeah.
honestly. Destructive. It's just destructive. It's not going to help. Did it help you in the moment though?
In the moment, but as soon as it would go away, it would just be all back. Like,
Right back to it. Horrible, horrible. And what would you say was your lowest point, Brooke? Do you remember a point where you just like it was just rock bottom?
probably that day, like going to the hospital and like that panic attack was like another like really, really bad one for me. And that's when I had started like researching DPDR and looking all of that up and like realizing it was something else other than just like
Right.
anxiety. Um, yeah, and that's when I
Yeah.
started
And how did you find out about me, Brooke?
through looking it up what that I was doing every single day because
You're
that's
looking it up, just researching?
yeah.
Yeah. Was it on TikTok, Instagram? It
It was on YouTube.
was on YouTube.
Yeah,
Really? So the first thing you saw of me was what? Was it like a podcast? Was it a client interview?
it was a podcast.
Nice. And then from there you found my Instagram.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom. I remember the day you reached out to me actually. There's sometimes I have like photographic memories, kind of weird. Like I remember literally seeing like your username and it's saying like wants to send a message.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was not that long ago. Not at all. It was like less than 2 months ago. And like what stood out to you about me, Brooke? Because I'm sure you must have like to research so much. You probably saw so many different people, but like what drew your attention to me?
I would say your confidence and just like there's like the way you would talk about it and just be like there's no chance for like you not recovering if you put in work. And I was like, I know I can put in the work.
Hmm.
Let's do it.
That's it, literally. You were so committed. I just love that. You're so committed from the start. I just knew like as soon as we were texting a little bit, I was like, yeah, she's locked in. She's gonna be a client 100%. I already saw it. Cool, cool, cool. And before you started the program though, like did you have any like doubts, fears, skepticism, anything like that?
Um, Honestly, not really. Like a little bit, but then I felt I watched a lot of the client recovery stories and like just listening to people like say like what they were feeling, and it was like I was like, yeah, that's me,
That's me.
and like how they recovered, and they just like the way they were even talking, I was like, I couldn't even like do that interview right now,
I
like
know. I know. Fact.
um. So yeah, I don't know it. Watching all of those, and then I remember like my first day, like before I even started, when I talked to Nick,
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'm like I'm ready, and like
Before you even hopped on the call,
yeah,
you were just ready. I just love that. We've had so many clients like you recently who have just seen all the stories, all the client reviews, and they're just ready to go. And I love people like you know, and you made it work. We just made it work, and here we are. It's amazing. Um, what else did I have for you? Um, do you feel like you could have recovered by yourself, Brooke?
um, I don't know, honestly. I feel like if I did, it probably would have taken me a lot longer, and
Mm.
I wouldn't know everything that I know now, like to not go back into it. I feel like maybe I would have recovered.
Yeah, that's actually such a good point. That's such a
Yeah,
good point. I didn't think about that. That's a great point. That
yeah,
like if you did overcome it, first of all, it would take you too long. It's way too long. And then if it happened again, you would probably be back at it. That's
yeah.
so true. I get that. And when you joined the program, Brooke, what was your first week inside the program like? Like, at what point would you say that you started seeing results?
Literally like 3 days in.
3 days in?
Yeah,
What did
I
that feel like though?
it felt so good. I remember like that third day, I like went to the gym, and like when I got back, I just felt like so much like relief. I felt better. Like honestly, like I felt like 98% recovered at that point
That's
already.
awesome. That's
Yeah,
amazing. Obviously, that is attributed to your nervous system finally feeling safe. Like
right.
finally feeling like I'm at the right place. This works for me. You know, I have people supporting me. I'm on the right plan. And it's just everything comes together and your nervous system finally gets to sigh,
Yeah.
right? I honestly believed you would have made a full recovery in like 3 weeks max if it wasn't for some things that you went through, which we'll definitely talk about, you know? And goes to show you that your recovery is not perfect, you know? I do want to talk about that, right? So first week you were on fire. Like I was like already planning, like, yeah, she's gonna be good, like by next week. And then what were some roadblocks or some things that came along the way, Brooke?
Yeah, like a week in, I would say I went through a breakup at the time, and that like just sent me into like this little depression spiral.
100%.
But I can say like even at that, I'd much rather deal with that than what I was at before. So like
Totally.
a lot of my DPDR was already gone the first week, and then I was just like kind of dealing with a breakup and all of that. So then I had to get through that, but still like a lot better than where I was at.
Yeah, totally. And you had a tough week. That second week was tough,
Yeah.
and I felt for you because you were doing so well. And then this breakup had you just really down, had you depressed, had you just, heartbroken as we all get.
Yeah.
But how did you bounce back from that? How did we help you bounce back from that moment that could have easily deterred you back into square one?
I remember just like I reached out to you guys a few times like throughout the day, and you guys were like all like both there for me and like telling me like no, like we're not we're not doing that. We're gonna like
Hmm.
stay focused and worry about you. Um, and then like even on the calls, you guys would like help me so much through that and make sure I was like staying focused on me and not any of that. And that did help a lot.
I love that. I love that. I remember those text messages like they were last week, and they basically were last week. No, totally. I remember you reaching out like, "Hey guys, today is just a really tough day, XYZ, going through it, lingering symptoms," and we supported you through it, and now we're here. And what specific parts of the program do you feel like resonated with you the most? Like the 24/7 support, the course, the community, the weekly calls?
I would say the 24/7 support. Yeah,
Yeah.
that helped me a lot. And like just knowing that like if I had something come up or like a panic attack or anything like that, that I could just be like, hey, help me out. And you guys would
Yeah,
like, all right, do this. And like, and it's done. Like you guys helped me.
totally. There it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Did you like how important was the community for you? Just knowing that there were other people going through the same things, also getting after it, doing what they got to do every day.
Yeah, that was really cool to see. Like just all of these people, like, and they would like, we would share like what we're doing each day and all of that. Like seeing other people going through that and like the stuff they were doing was like insane. And like it motivates you to like go do that too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm loving the support recently too. Like even what caught my eye was one of my clients is about to give birth, and you and all the other girls were like, "You got it, Queen. You got this." She's
Yeah.
literally like, I think like almost due like today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think that's just so awesome, to be honest. It makes me smile. I think that's super great.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, what else did we have? Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I mean, what role did like taking action despite being scared do for you? Like, how important was just taking action in your life?
I feel like that was a big part of it.
Hmm.
And like you would say, like even when like you're having a bad day or anything like that, when it's hard, like that's when you need to show up.
100%. Those are the days that
Actually,
count.
yeah, like actually doing that after you do that, like you feel so much better that you just did that and like you went through that even though it was hard. And yeah, that I feel like was like a big thing for me, actually doing those things.
Amazing. And was there a specific moment where you just felt like, wow, I feel normal again?
Um, I honestly had that a few times, and
Yeah.
like where you feel like you're completely done with it all, and then and you would have like a little like lingering symptom or something come up, and then I'd be like, oh,
Mm.
maybe not. But once I finally got there, yeah, I guess it was just like a week or two ago, and I was just I went to bed that night, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't think about anything, and like I worked all day, and that was a big thing for me. It was like going to work, and my thoughts would just go crazy at the beginning, and I went to work all day. I didn't have any symptoms of anything. I didn't think about it at all. And yeah, I got home and I was just like, damn, it's done.
Living the dream, living the
Over.
dream. You escaped it. It's amazing. Yeah, I know your work was heavily affected by it. You didn't work for a while, right?
Yeah, I was canceling my days. Like every day I would wake up having a panic attack and I would have to cancel my clients and not go in.
I understand totally. And would you say like feeling normal again? Like, are you really back to normal? Because obviously a lot of people are just like, even myself, like I would watch these interviews and be like, there's no way you go back to normal. What do you
Right.
think, Brooke?
You definitely do.
You definitely do.
Yeah.
You definitely do. That's amazing. And do you have like a more like a different outlook on life in terms of like just being more grateful now or just like appreciating life and appreciating normalcy or like yeah, anything like that?
Yeah, I would say like honestly, just literally like my everyday life, I feel like excited for again and like happy and grateful that I'm like not where I was 2 months ago. And so I'm grateful literally to go to work where like before I would maybe be like, oh, I don't want to go in today. And like I'm like, no, I'm excited to go.
It's amazing. And I feel like we have to bring up just how different your life is now, like your life quality, your habits, like all that stuff, right? I feel like a lot of people are in your shoes where like, objectively your life was kind of a mess, right? You were just like you had so many things that you yourself weren't even proud of, right? Like what would you say were some of your bad habits or just like areas of improvement before you joined the program?
Definitely was drinking way too much, going out way too much, um, staying up way too late every night. Um, yeah, I would like literally would not go to sleep till like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Mm,
Every weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, be drinking the whole time. Like that's all I would do. It just was not where I needed to be.
100%. You were telling me you were waking up super late, like midday, like
Yeah,
playing video games, eating. How are your eating habits?
terrible. Like especially during like everything, I wasn't eating because of being anxious all the time. But before that, like I just didn't care about anything that I ate or anything.
Didn't care.
Yeah.
Just didn't care. I'm just bringing up your form that you filled out when we started so I can remember. Bro, yeah, remind myself when you started. Yeah, you're just telling me you're just staying up way too late, no structure to your days, relying on other people, skipping work, kind of being unorganized, all that, right? And how would you say your life has changed since? What's life looking like now?
The complete opposite of that.
The complete opposite.
Yeah.
Your nutrition's good, your sleep's good, all that's good. That's amazing. I mean, if anyone's watching this right now, you're like, how Brooke was, if your life is out of alignment, if your sleep schedule, your eating, your screen time was another big one, Brooke. Your
Yeah, that was
screen time, your social activity, if everything's out of alignment, that is the reason why you're stuck like this, right? Like I always say, master the basics, align your life, and then you will get the results,
yeah.
right? Cool, cool, cool. What else? I mean, what's one thing you're the most proud of since achieving your recovery? Like, what are you the most proud of yourself for in this process?
Um, just like sticking to everything and like taking it
Mhm.
seriously. And then, like I said before, I even started this program before I had DPDR anxiety. Um, I really just didn't care. Like I was like, I didn't care about anything. Like really, I was just like, whatever. And like now, I actually see the importance to all of these things that I like used to roll my eyes about, and
100%.
how much it actually does affect you, like, and can make you like literally a better person in every way.
1,000%. And I have to say, I'm super proud of you. I'm super proud of the changes you made in your life. Like I said, when you came to us, you were super anxious, your life was out of alignment, bad habits everywhere. And within a week, you completely turned your life around. You went all into this process. You turned your entire life around. And no one can take that from you. No, like you can carry these same skills, these same habits into your life now and you just really transformed everything.
Yeah,
I feel like that's an important lesson for everyone watching is like you can decide to change your life like this. Literally like this. It takes one decision to be like, I'm never going to be that person again. I choose to be the best version of me. And you just make magic happen, you know? And what would you say, Brooke, to someone watching right now who's they're like, yeah, this all sounds good, but I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. It just feels impossible, like they're just in that mindset. What would you say?
It's definitely possible. Like I feel like you just have to put in the action and you have to want it bad enough
Oof,
to really just do everything like that needs to be done and you'll get there like quick.
oof, yeah. I mean, you heard it from her. That's exactly what I would say. You just have to want it so damn bad. You have to want it so bad. It's the only choice. It's the you don't like you have to like how I wanted it. When I wanted it so bad that it wasn't a matter of like recovery, it was a matter of just like when it was gonna happen because I just it needed to happen.
Yeah.
You have to want it so bad. I love that. That's a great advice. Um, I mean, if someone's watching right now and they're still debating whether they should join Reality Reconnect or not, what would you say?
I would say do it. Like, because seriously, it's just your mental health, like, you just can't fuck around with. And if you keep, like, just putting it off and hoping you get better, like, it's not going to happen. Like, there's all of the tools and everything that you need, everything about DPDR, everything, like, every way to overcome it. And it's all, like, laid out. And it's literally, like, the best thing that I've done for myself, seriously.
I love that. I love that. And how did you justify the investment side of things, bro? Because I know when you first started, like you didn't have just funds laying around. You actually had to go get a loan, right?
Yeah, I did.
You had to go get a loan, but you just wanted it bad enough, right? But how did you justify it, right? Because it's a big investment in yourself, big investment in your recovery. What was your mindset around that?
I just thought, like, I don't know, you can't put a price tag on that. Like, it's just, I would literally pay like $10,000 to do that. Like, I wanted it so bad. I wanted to be normal again. I would pay whatever to get there.
Yeah, you can't put a price on your mental health. And it's not even just mental health. You can't put a price on escaping DPDR. Like
Yeah.
escaping DPDR, if I had a button in front of me and I literally had to give up like my arm, I'm giving up my arm because my life was on the line, you know? But there's some people out there who's like they don't get to that point for some reason. It's just not bad enough. I got to the point, Brooke got to the point, we've all gotten to that point where it's just so bad that like you would rather not live. And that's genuinely, you just would rather not live. And when it gets to that point, you'll do everything to get your life back. And that's when the gold is made. I believe before that point, it's not possible. I truly do. I believe before that point, it's almost like you're not in the right mindset to go all in, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's a great point. Um, what have you learned about yourself or about life in general, about personal development, about the brain? Like one takeaway from this whole experience, what would you say, Brooke?
Um, I feel like the main thing that I struggled with before was just, I remember there was in like the beginning part where we had to like read a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, stop, your brain gives what you feed it.
Mm.
And that was a big thing for me because that's all I was doing was like, oh, I have this thing. I have anxiety. I have OCD. I have DPDR. And I'm like, how do I get over it? Let me read more about it. I didn't read enough yesterday. I got to read more about it right now.
Right.
And so I would just keep obsessing over it and not giving my brain anything else. So realizing that was a big thing for me.
That's a great one. I'm going to expand on that point. The brain is essentially a supercomputer. It takes in information and it gives you the output of the processing of that information. If you're constantly feeding the inputs, researching, Googling, you don't know how to respond to your symptoms, so you're freaking out, you're just thinking about it all day long, thinking about it, your habits suck, your sleep is out of alignment, you have no water intake, your food sucks, everything sucks, you're going to get sucks, right? You're going to get that product. But if you learn to rewire your brain, reprogram it, and give it all the right parts, it's going to give you the right outcome, right? So you did just that, Brooke. You know, before you were completely out of alignment, we realigned you back completely. And now you're just vibing. You're living your life. What's coming up for you? What are you excited for now that you're fully recovered? I know we talked about moving out, like anything else that you're just excited to do to live in these next upcoming months.
Honestly, everything. Again, like saying that 2 months ago, I would have not. I didn't want to be alive 2 months ago. So like saying that now is like exciting and it's cool. I would say just going through everything that I went through and learning all of the things that I did, like I do have like a new outlook on life and again, like it's just I'm more excited to do like daily things and go to the gym and go to work,
Yes,
stuff like that.
yes,
Um, yeah, definitely am looking forward to moving though, getting a new apartment.
nice. There
So
we go. Living life, just enjoying the small things in life. That's what matters, you know? When you're stuck in DPDR, you just wish you could just enjoy like literally anything, like a
yeah,
TV show, a glass of water, some food, like just nothing feels the same. So now that you can just enjoy life, it's really truly a blessing, you know? And we're definitely going to talk about this on our next call about like not taking life for granted. You know, I really want you to just take everything you learned and I want you to use that to just propel yourself forward in your life. You know, the old Brooke is completely gone. The new Brooke is here to stay. I definitely want to solidify that. So we'll talk about that. Um, I mean, I don't have any more questions for you except this last one, which is if there was one piece of advice or multiple pieces of advice you would give to someone or literally yourself 2 months ago, what would that be?
um, I wrote this down.
You wrote this down. Let's go.
I would say, like, especially to myself, because I felt like I was insane mentally, like going crazy. I would say you're not crazy and you have it in you to like take action and get through it. You just have to realize that.
I feel like the first step to realizing that is understanding that well, you can't feel sorry for yourself, right? Because if you feel sorry for yourself and you're stuck in victim mindset, you're giving away your power. The first step to that is understanding, like, hey, my life is in my control. Bottom line, my life is in my control. I have to make it happen. And everything up to this point is one way or another my fault. You know, I have the power to change my life. And from there, you're like, all right, let's take action. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
I love it. Did you write anything else down you wanted to share?
Um, Not really. Just
Not
that.
really. Okay, last thing is like, what would you say to someone who's currently struggling? They've seen the results, they've seen everything, they see my content, they love it. But the only thing is they're scared to actually commit. They're scared to actually invest in themselves emotionally, financially, and just actually commit to something, especially something as scary as their recovery.
I would say this is the one thing that you don't need to be scared of
Mhm.
because this is literally like your ticket out of feeling that way.
Your ticket out. I like that.
It is.
Your ticket out. That's awesome, Brooke. I really, really appreciate you. You've been so awesome over these last 5 weeks. Just the number one thing that I'll give you credit for is just turning your life around on a whim. You know, like believing in me so much, believing in this process so much, believing in yourself so much to the point where you literally turned your entire life around. And that's not easy to do. You know, us humans, we hold on to the quote, a familiar hell is more comfortable than an unfamiliar heaven. That's how
Yeah.
humans are, especially when we're in this anxiety state. And for you to just drop all your bad habits, drop all that, and just change for you and just to trust in me, it means everything, you know. And I would love to have 100 more clients like you, genuinely. Amazing. Cool. Well,
Yep.
like I said, I definitely want to talk next week just so we can solidify things and just have a plan moving forward to make sure you're succeeding in your life. So yeah, let's make that happen.